Velete, thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you. Or something big has just happened in Gabon. For decades, Africans are told before we can acquire the best of knowledge, we need to move outside of the continent, leave our universities, go to Europe, go to America, because that is where they have the best of education. And this was the narrative sold to us by the president of Gabon. Brice Oligui Nguema has disputed the fact. According to him, now the youth in Gabon will no longer need to leave Gabon to Europe or to America or elsewhere to acquire knowledge. They will rather acquire the knowledge in Africa because Africa has everything, the best of training, the best of skills, the best of knowledge. If we are even the first people who brought university into this world, why then do we need to leave Africa to acquire knowledge outside of the continent? Because we are sold a false narrative that everything African is bad. We do not have the best in Africa. So the youth of Africa tries to leave Africa in order to acquire knowledge elsewhere. And the more we do that, the more we make them richer. According to the president, these people are making sure they change everything when it comes to their educational system, making life unbearable for Africans. And we need to even pay more in order to get there to acquire this knowledge when we can easily get everything here. So there will no longer be scholarships for the youth to send our knowledge elsewhere.
The United States. They won't be for Canada because studies are expensive. I was listening to myself. To tell you the truth, it's expensive. And those who come here never go back.
They never return to the country.
He will get his doctorate in medicine or elsewhere. What does he do? He prefers to work here because it pays better. It's human instinct. He wants to live in a better country. So what's the point of giving scholarships to Gabonese who come here and will stay here? We prefer to give the scholarship to someone who goes to Senegal, Ghana, or Morocco because we know they will come back. So if you have children, guide your children towards Senegal, Morocco. They will come back. They will have scholarships. Because all those who have the scholarship here do not return. It's what's worse is that your children have dual nationality. I understand they are Gabonese, but they are also Americans. So if Gabon doesn't do its part, America does its part.
Why do you want to have two scholarships for the same child?
This year, there will be no scholarships for the states to the owners of buildings and unfinished construction sites lining our main roads. I address you with seriousness and firmness. You have rights, but you also have obligations towards the community. These works must be completed within the deadlines that will be set. Libreville, the beautiful, must reflect the requirement, dignity, and ambition of the Fifth Republic. In some Western countries, the university system that absorbs a large part of our students has just enhanced the access and support modalities granted to foreign students. We must not undergo this evolution. We must respond with a strategy to strengthen our institutions, seek the best training, and look with confidence towards the universities of excellence on our continent. Africa should not be a default choice. It is a space of knowledge, innovation, and future. Our youth must seize the opportunities it offers and acquire the skills that Gabon needs there. To our young graduates, you are the face of Gabon tomorrow. But your diploma is not an end in itself. It is the beginning of a responsibility, that of learning, creating, building, and serving the nation. Whatever challenges may arise in the search for a job, it is important not to give in to discouragement. Be perseverant. A truly sovereign country is one that has decided for itself to educate its children, produce the energy it needs, protect its resources, build its infrastructure, and give its youth a reason to believe in the future. Each generation receives a mission. That of our elders was to conquer freedom. Ours is to rebuild, modernize, transform, and build this country with work, discipline, justice, and prosperity. I will not tell you that the path will be easy. I will not tell you that everything is completed, but I can assure you of one thing. The state will continue its action with method and firmness.
Where there are delays,
we will demand corrections. Where there are mistakes, responsibilities must be established. Where the national interest is at stake, we will not back down.
And at the end of the day, when we even go through all this pain we go through, when we are done with our education, they try to keep the brilliant ones in their respective countries to develop them. But the president of Gabon is saying we need that knowledge, we need that skills to remain in Africa, that we will no longer shift alongside what they normally do. Like now that they are changing everything, changing the tuition, changing the criteria, increasing the money. The Africans don't need to be paying huge sums of money to get to these places. So we need to keep everything here in Africa. This is how we are going to develop. And I think all African leaders must follow this steps. We have seen how they are increasing the tuition, increasing everything, like tightening things so that the African can never get to their respective countries. But when they are coming here, the doors are open. So like the man is saying, we will no longer shift along, because those days, what they normally do is when they do this, the presidents or the governments in our respective countries adjust to suit them. But the president of Gabon is saying no. Why do we have the universities here if they are best? Why are we leaving the universities that we have in Africa to other places? So all of us must understand that if Africa will be good, it is you and I that must contribute. Like the youth have a responsibility. We all have a role. It doesn't mean that when you leave the continent to other places to study, that's when you get the best of knowledge, the best of skills, the best of training. We have everything here. And our leaders must also make sure that they equip our universities with everything. Make the university standard. All the things that we need must be kept here. And the kind of educational system we have must also change, where we only go and do the theory, leaving the practical aspect. What is the essence of the theory when we do not have the practical aspect to match up with it? These are the things that are making people leave the continent, that they want to study abroad. And this story that we are sold to, that the West have the best of everything, is because you know how they always project themselves, making everything African to be less. That is why the youth today do not believe in anything that has to do with Africa. All of us are sold the narrative from childhood that everything of ours is not good. That's why we go to school believing that having the formal education or the colonizer's education means you're educated. No, but school is different from education. Even this school that we had it before they even came here. Like today, the people believe that they came here and civilized Africa. Some of them believe that without them we'll never have formal education. But learning somebody's language is not education. We only went to school to be taught how to be a Westerner, living our own identity. So therefore, Africans must understand that there is nothing here that is less. We have the best of everything. And sometimes those of us who even live here, you can have somebody struggling here, but the person gets there and the person is the best in the classroom. If our institutions were not good, why do we live here and we perform there? So you should understand that Africa has the best of everything. We just have to start believing in ourselves. It is you and I that can change the narrative. And all leaders must follow the steps of what the president in Gabon is doing. Cancel these scholarships. If you are giving scholarships to people to go out and study, it means that what we have here is nothing to write home about. Like he's saying, everything in Africa is good. There is nothing of ours that is inferior. And we only need to adjust and change the situation to fit the African context. Go to India, go to China, go to the rest of the world. Whatever that they have suit their environment. It's only the African that is learning how to become other people. Schooling doesn't mean that you are acquiring knowledge. Schooling means you go to be trained to be like somebody, eat like somebody, dress like somebody. We are only going there to be brainwashed, wash away our identity, wash away our culture. And we are not able to fit into the world because we enter the world with somebody else's identity. So how do you perform better when you are no longer yourself? We need to go back to our roots, like the leaders in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso are doing, translating everything French into their local languages so their people can read and understand. This is what we need in Africa. Go back to who we are. Patronize everything here. We shouldn't have the mentality that we are not good. Everything of ours is not standard. And before we even believe that something is of quality, we need to measure it with Europe or America or the rest of the world. Our leaders must start changing things. Build the continent. Build it with skills, not theory. We don't need theory to do anything for ourselves. We only need the skills in order to move the continent ahead. The future is in our hands. So the youth of today have a responsibility. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided before, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we'll make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world, in Africa, West Africa, and in Gabon.